Now, what I'm trying to say is, so we take things for granted, right? Because we somehow got to know the way certain things, certain events happen in the world. We call this the principle of uniformity. When something is uniform, it happens repeatedly, more or less in the same way as it happened in the past. So we assume that what happened in a certain way in the past will continue to happen more or less in the same way in the present and the future. Right? So that's kind of a reasonable thing to accept. So, but only our minds can actually discover this. Because in the natural world, pretty much everything is determined by these fixed rules that we call the laws of nature. Clear? This thing here, this being, this entity is the same as being in philosophy. This entity does not possess what the gentleman there identified as free will or free choice capability. It's not an autonomous being. The word autonomous actually is a combination of two Greek words. Auto, like automobile, right? Auto means self. Right? And nomos in Greek means rule. I rule myself. Each one of you rule yourselves. If I decide to touch my nose now, nobody can impede me. Unless, of course, physically. You're not going to touch your nose. Yes, I am! No, you're not! It would be impossible for you to prevent that. Because I have this capability to touch my nose whenever I choose to do so. Okay, so that's a very interesting point that you need to remember, because rationality cannot be found in the natural world. Second point I want to make is this. For rationality to exist, there has to be a source. Why is that? There has to be a source for it. And this is a very simple principle. Just pay attention and see and tell me if you think it's true or false. For every effect, there has to be a cause. That was an effect. I'm not going to break it. For every effect, there has to be a cause. True or false? If I say nothing comes out of nothing, from nothing, nothing comes, what do you think? True? Well, that's a metaphysical principle. A principle that is beyond the physical world. I'll prove to you this principle to be true. Think of 2 points. Here and here. The shortest distance between these 2 points is what? And it has to be. You don't actually need to see straight line or measure it. Empirically measure won't really prove that to be true. You can infer completely independently of your sense perception. What I'm trying to say is there are things that are obvious, and one of those things, in my opinion, is we are all rational beings. We have this rational capability to know truth, to understand, to abstract, to conceptualize meaningful words. And for a moment, I'm just going to put a parenthesis here, and I want you to follow me on this. If you think what a word is basically the result of this ability that we have to codify language. You know, I mean, you can speak Spanish here. Habla.
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
¿Qué pasa, mujer?
¿Eres de España? ¿Ah? No. ¿De dónde eres?
Yo soy de Paraguay.
Oh, wow.
Kennst du Deutsch sprechen?
Mande.
Können Sie Deutsch sprechen? Nein? se io adesso mi mettessi a parlarti italiano, tu capirai qualcosa? Niente?
Un poquito.
Tu capisci l'italiano?
Un poquito, solo porque hablo español y es muy similar.
Mas eu falo português também, e se eu falo português, você... See? Okay, so, there you go. There you see, that's exactly the proof I was hoping to find. So I spoke German, which is in a way close to English, right? But the basic that you have for Spanish was able to actually give you some basis for Italian and Portuguese. And French, yeah, exactly. So that's something that only rational beings can do. The understanding cannot be found in the natural world. I'll give you an example. I'm going to give you an analogy, and then I'll probably stop there. Okay, so imagine a cheetah. What is a cheetah? A big cat is apparently the fastest feline in the world, right? So a cheetah chases a couple of impalas, a mother and a baby. Yeah. And of course the mother is faster, right? The cheetah gets the baby. Good for the cheetah. I'm saying this on purpose. Yummy. It's gonna be a bloody supper. And of course, the baby gets and tries to the cheetah is right there on the back. The poor baby like that. The truth is there is nothing wrong there, is there? There you go. In the same way, in the natural world, there are no truth, because truth is the result of rational inference, rational thinking, logical thinking. Truth and understanding and conceptualizing are mainly powers of a rational being. Not like me, but like human beings. So the point that I wanted to make is simply this. If we conceive a world, a universe, that is entirely material, where does rationality fit there? Where do you put reason? How do you explain two things? Self-awareness. Are you aware you're here? Yes, most of you are. Yes. Right. We call that consciousness. In philosophy, we use a specific term to describe that ability for us to describe that we are aware that we are aware. Does that make sense? We're probably the only beings that are aware that are aware. It's kind of playing with words, but it makes sense. I'm going to test you, and you tell me if this claim is either true or false. Okay? Here we go. If a statement is true, its denial is false, is true.
Say again.
If a statement is true, its denial is false, is true.
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect. So you see, that is proof that you can understand, that you can not only conceptualize and follow the meaning, understand the meaning of the words in the first place, but you can actually put together meaningful words and come to the truth, arrive to a truth, or conclude something that is truthful.